All right, guys. I haven't really, posted that much because I've been you know, extremely occupied with things. But I'm really thinking about something, and this may get me canceled, but I have to speak in code. I was talking to three of my teachers. One is from Senegal, one is from Burkina Faso, and one is from Mali. And they, I don't have the prophetic narration. I'm waiting for the prophetic narration. Actually, I'm actually waiting for it right now. I'm waiting for it. But he said, they said, as a collective, based on the prophetic narration, that you know, Denejo or Tupac people, or let's just say Anglo people, are Gog and Magog. And I was always under the impression, I was always under the impression that, you know, Gog and Magog, they were behind a wall or something of that sort. You know what I mean? Or they were, that's what, somewhere in a remote mountain or something like that. That's like the impression I got, you know. But when I look to see what's happening in the world, and especially the Western world, I kind of have to question: is it the case that they maybe are? And now, hear me out. The reason why I say this is because the scandals that we're seeing in the White House, for example, the president Donald Trump, he decided that he plays for both teams, as we see. With that being said, Bill Clinton, he got he got Lewinsky's from two people. He got Lewinsky's from Monica, and it seems like he got one from Donald as well. Uh, and then you're seeing an uptick. I was doing some statistics and stuff like that. You're seeing an uptick in pastors and ministers, especially, uh, getting caught with you know child corn and grape material, and you're also seeing the MAGA crowd getting caught with corn and grape material, and you also have Tommy Robinson, the anti-Islamic person, who is now on the Epstein list as well. So to me, it just seems like wow, man, like this is crazy. And the crazy thing about this whole situation is that they I hate to say it, I really hate to say this. This may sound kind of crazy, but it seems like they're almost complicit in it. Like the general audience seems like that they don't care. You even had a you're even having politicians and spokespeople saying, "So what if these people were underage?" Like basically they're saying that. But these are the same people. It's crazy too. These are the same people who will insult, slander the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam when he is not even guilty of what they slander him for, right? All of the crazy thing is all of the anti-Islamic rhetoric is coming from people who are doing the exact same things that they're accusing the Prophet alayhi salatu salam of doing. So in my opinion, it's just projection, basically. That's what it is. Now, basically, this is what it boils down to. I'm gonna read something that is very powerful that I keep to my I still that I still keep in my I want to say in my archives. It was it was let me find it. Okay. Okay. And this is the attitude I have, okay? This is my personal attitude when it comes to five group I would say more than five groups of people. This is my personal attitude when it comes to liberals, when it comes to conservatives, when it comes to the Western Muslims who want to follow them, be it those Western Muslims be liberals, conservatives, feminists, far right, far left, when it comes to Zionists, when it comes to Wahhabis, and I'll also add Black nationalists to this, and I'll also add Pan Africanists to this as well, who are who who disguise their supremacist ideology under the guise of Black nationalists and Pan Africanism. This is my response, and this is also my response to the Africans who want to be colonized as well, and see no problems in what's going on, and see the dangers of basically intermingling with these people, but still want to do it anyway. This is my response. So this letter came from Sultan Al Tahiru, Rahimahullah. He was a he was a descendant of Uthman Danfodio, and he was talking against the British coming to the country, because even Uthman Danfodio, he predicted it. He predicted that, hey, the British are gonna come here, you guys are gonna have to leave. The ones who stay behind are going to be the ones who are basically compliant with foreign rule. So basically, Sultan Al Tahiru, the Sokoto Caliphate, he said this: I do not consent that any from you should ever duel with us. I will never agree with you. I have nothing ever to do with you. Between us and you, there are no dealings, except as Muslims and unbelievers. War as Allah Almighty enjoined between us. There is no power or strength except in Allah Most High. So basically, what I want to say, I want to say is that this war that he speaks of does not have to be a war of arms, although it seems like, I hate to say it, but it seems like that's the only war that these people understand. But it's the war of the intellect. It's the war of the soul. It's the war of the ideas. Me, I left America, number one, because I'm not, quote unquote, what you call a homegrown American. Number one is because I didn't agree with what they were doing. And the reason why I didn't agree with what they were doing, or they are doing, is because of what is being exposed right now. Okay? You see it clear as daylight what is being exposed. And now what I want to do is segue into, it's really crazy. The ones who are mostly following it though, and who are kind of like complicit in it, I find it kind of odd, are the of course the conservatives, right? Because Trump, the MAGA guys, but also a lot of American black women too. You know, ironically, you have a lot of American black women who are on board with this stuff, and I know why they're on board with this stuff. There was actually a room, a clubhouse room, and I heard the recording. I said, you know, once I heard the recording, I said sensational, you know. I just said sensational. But in that recording, there was a white guy who was hosting the room. And there was actually black women who were trying to conspire about how to delete black men with that white dude. And so it's funny because um, I want to say that they want to delete black men, right? They want to they want black men to be put in their place, right? There is a prophetic narration, right? There is a prophetic narration that most of the Dajjal's followers will be women, a lot, and that's just because the sheer number of women outnumber men. That's the thing. The sheer number of women are way more than men. That's just the bottom line. So yes, obviously they're going to outnumber men in following the job. But the crazy thing is, you see it right now. You see it right now. Okay. It's almost like they're complicit in the Gog and Magog situation that is coming about. And I'm just looking at their actions because I'm gonna be honest with you too. The ones who do come into Islam, like the Anglos who do come into Islam, they try to. I want to say they try to. They don't sit down with Shayuk uh, and try to learn the religion. It seems like they do it to undermine the religion. You know, that's what it seems like. It doesn't seem like there's sincerity in what they're doing. It seems like there's actually, I want to say, ulterior motive in what they're doing. You know, this is what it seems like for the most part. So, with that being said, right? With this being said, it's pretty crazy that the Keisha will follow this because the Keisha wants to so badly be accepted, and her hatred for the black man is at an all-time high. And the thing is this, okay? You must understand this. Although, yes, there are Africans who don't identify with black. There are some who don't, yes. Okay, for whatever reason, there's some who don't identify with black. You know, where I come from in Africa, we didn't use the word black or anything. We kind of just knew we were black. We just go from our tribe, okay? That's just the bottom line. We just go from our tribe. And I'm going to put all of this together, and I'm going to end this video. But we don't have it any better. You know, when you may, like, there's this one notion that, you know, B-dubs, they they like African men. No, they don't. They really don't. They will put you in hell and hot water. Okay, that's just the bottom line. They definitely will not learn about culture. They definitely will not learn about high Islamic governance that we used to have. They definitely don't want to sit down and study. They don't want to do any of that. Okay, they really don't. What they want to do is there's this like impression that basically, African men are providers and things like that, and they romanticize with the idea that okay, they're just going to be living a soft life. Basically, that's what they romanticize with, but they think that they can live a soft life by being uncooperative and being damn near demonic. And I'm going to say something, and this is going to rattle some feathers, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to end the video. One of my favorite Sahabi by the name of Khalid ibn Walid, or in Arabic, Khalid ibn al-Walid, okay? He was tall. He was massive guy, okay? Him and Omar, they looked the same. People couldn't tell the difference. They were like, man, if you close your eyes, you would swear that both of them were the same person. They were cousins, by the way. Khalid ibn Walid, Omar, tall, very, very tall, massive men, okay? I'm telling you, from my teachers even, they were almost reaching up to like maybe past 8 feet in height, because when they rode a horse, their feet would drag on the ground when they rode horses, okay? They were very, very tall men. Okay, we have a report that the Prophet, alayhi salatu salam, and I know this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, especially with the Hotep crowd, who they called the black woman God and they called her goddesses and all of this. This is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. But it's mentioned that Al-Waqidi mentioned that when Khalid destroyed Al-Usa, he killed a black woman who came out to him naked with her hair flying, cutting, let me see, cutting her down with his sword. The Prophet was informed of that and said that was Al-Usa. So I hate to say it, but I hate to say it, and woo, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but based on how Black American women are acting, it's not far off to say that these may be the offsprings of Al Usa, but you see how they were dealt with. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not calling for what Khalid did. What I'm calling for is be aware. Keep your third eye open with what is happening and who is doing it. Okay, this is what I'm telling you guys. The part of the world I'm in, alhamdulillah, the jaw of things haven't reached. It's just unfortunate that it seems like every damn country is compromised when it comes to the white and blue flag that needs to be knocked off the face of the earth. And you know what that flag is. I don't have to name it. It starts with an I and ends with an L. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. But what needs to be said, okay, and this is what my teacher told me. Because the thing is, although there are some talking points in Islam that are red pill adjacent, I rather take my evidence not from red pillars or anything, but I rather just take my evidence from Islamic sources. rather than just looking at red pillars. Because the thing is about Islamic sources, they're usually going to have everything covered, because the simple fact that the scholars of the past, they dealt with social issues. They weren't just scholars, but they were also social activists as well. So this is why I rather take from that instead of going for I want to say looking at red pillars talking points, you know. But one of my teachers told me that, and he heard it from his teacher, by the way. His teacher was from Syria. He told me the reason why, like, black people, especially like black African people, the reason why they're going through so much things right now, like how we are having in Sudan, how we're having in Congo, and how unfortunately we're having it in Nigeria as well, Mali, Burkina Faso, all of the above. He said the reason why these things are happening is because we will be the followers of, we will be the most numerous followers of Imam Mahdi, alayhi salam, when he comes. You know, that's what my teacher told me. And, you know, going into a physical description of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, I'm not going to do that. But, yes, you don't have to take the stance I take, but it may suit you to take the stance I take. Because when it comes to it, bro, I have nothing to do with these people. I have nothing to do with them. You know, I'm dealing with them at a 10 arms length, basically, with all the sick things that are coming out now. There's even one Christian guy who is so much against Islam, but even he admitted to doing the same things he accused the Prophet alayhi salatu salam of doing. And it's not, I'm going to end this video. It's not about hating them. It's not about hating them. It's not about blaming them. It's about looking at their collective action and realizing, hey, why is this happening with, it seems like, one group of people more than is happening with another group of people? Why? But I hope this benefits you guys. You know, I think I need to just like not even pick up my phone for like maybe 5 hours or so after. It's just like you flip your phone and you're seeing something new every day that these people are perpetuating. It's like, dang, what's next? You know? But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now, man. Leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Sahel signing out. Inshallah.